Meech, you couldn't have thought that through. I know you've been behind the walls, but you know 50 didn't fool with Ross. So why did you think it'd be a good idea to get in the pictures and start getting close to dude? For some money? Because he paid you a couple dollars? Did 50 make your son a millionaire?
Are you showing and performing at the Big Meech party? Yeah, I'm performing. I gave Big Meech my word, that I was gonna perform, and I ain't. I give a man my word. That's my word. I don't know what's going on. I can't just pull away from not performing over something, they got going on with him.
Listen up. Just when everybody thought the beef between 50 Cent and Big Meech couldn't get any uglier, 50 turned the dial straight to savage mode. He's not just calling out Meech anymore. He's putting Boosie on blast too, accusing him of betrayal. And to make things even more explosive, Boosie's name is now floating around with that same ugly label, Snitch. So what really went down, and why did 50 decide to target him? Grab your popcorn because this story is wild. It all started when old footage resurfaced, showing Boosie announcing he'd be performing at Big Meech's Welcome Back concerts. But that wasn't even the jaw-dropper. Another clip popped up of Boosie taking shots at 50, saying that if he were Lil Meech, he would have told 50 to F off. That's a direct shot, and everybody knows 50 doesn't let disrespect slide. And let's be clear, just like with Rick Ross, Boosie might have just made an enemy out of the wrong man. If there's one thing the world knows about 50, it's that betrayal flips a switch in him. He goes full petty, cuts you off cold, and then spends months tearing you down from every angle. Before we go deeper into this messy back and forth, make sure you smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the next update on this war. It's only heating up. Now 50's been coming for Boosie hard, doubling down on his accusations that Big Meech is a rat. And trust me, 50 isn't letting this go. What's making it even more ironic is Boosie's longtime rep of being no snitching to the core.
Even Lil Meech managed, because you'd have messed his thing up. 50 to cut everybody off. Everybody tied to you to cut the water off.
Remember when he called out Rollo? Or when he scrapped his whole album with T.I. just because rumors floated that T.I. was working with the feds? He always stood 10 toes down against anyone with that cloud over their name. But this time, Boosie shocked fans by defending Big Meech, saying he hadn't seen any paperwork proving Meech ratted. That move had people side-eyeing him heavy because it looked like he was picking and choosing who to call out. It even lined up with what Charleston White once claimed, that Boosie bends rules depending on who's involved.
He have spoke out and said he not boycotting. He said he gave his word to 50. He's going to show up.
Yeah. I saw that. They pick and choose. Not that I'm saying, Meech is a snitch or anything like that. But man, they pick and choose who they want to put the snitch jacket on and who they want it to apply to. So that's why I say, man, all that.
Boosie tried to clean it up, though. He denied getting paid for the show and said, "No, I'm not doing no show for free. Y'all think I would charge someone who just came home? Y'all just think I'm heartless." But folks weren't convinced. Social media lit up with accusations that Boosie was playing favorites in the industry, calling out some rats, but protecting others. Meanwhile, 50's been on full attack mode. If you've been following this saga, you know he's been firing off shots at Meech for weeks. He even posted a now-deleted Instagram picture of a giant rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." That had everybody shook because it was a double diss, aimed at Meech and also at Rick Ross, since the line comes straight from Ross's BMF anthem. And just when people thought 50 was done, he doubled down again. He called his past connection to Tammy Cowan's his biggest mistake and hinted that her tell-all docuseries is about to expose everything. He even shared a phone call where Tammy seemed ready to spill the tea on Meech. That move had the internet buzzing. What does 50 know that the rest of us don't? What made this twist even crazier is that when Meech first came home, we saw smiling photos of him and 50 together, looking like solid friends. But out of nowhere, everything flipped this past February when 50 suddenly turned on him. Fans couldn't ignore the timing. Meech was sentenced to 30 years back in 2008, but somehow walked free after only 18. That detail had people whispering in the streets, and that's exactly where 50 picked up the thread. The whole situation was already looking shady, but it wasn't just random speculation fueling 50's fire against Big Meech. Word on the street was that Tammy Cowens, Meech's longtime business partner, might have flipped and become an FBI informant after he went down. And here's the wild part. Meech had literally sold her the rights to his life story, putting her in full control of everything BMF while he sat behind bars. That's not just trust, that's handing over your whole empire. But the deeper you dig, the messier it gets. Whack 100 even claimed that Meech was secretly feeding Tammy info from inside prison, stuff he was hearing behind bars, while Tammy was allegedly passing it straight to the feds. And that, according to the whispers, is the real reason he walked out early. But hold up, it doesn't end there. Tammy wasn't just some random business associate, she was also 50 Cent's co-producer on the Black Mafia family TV series. The same show where Lil Meech, Big Meech's own son, plays him on screen. Now here's where it gets extra messy. Tammy and Meech went back as far as 2007, working side by side. And by their own words, their bond wasn't just business, if you catch the vibe. Rumor has it Tammy might have mixed a little love into the business deal. Back in 2014, while Meech was still locked up, Tammy couldn't stop gushing in interviews, calling him her best friend, and even saying, "I could tell you this has been one of the best experiences in my life to have him as my best friend." That's not just loyalty, that's ride or die energy. So imagine this. A woman who's had your back for years suddenly flips and is now threatening to air out every detail in a tell-all? That's what 50 Cent says was Meech's real mistake, cutting Tammy off. Because now, she's allegedly ready to spill everything in an upcoming docuseries. And guess who's producing it? Yup, 50 himself. To really hammer it home, 50 hit Instagram again, posting a clip of a man admitting to being a snitch, but with Big Meech's head photoshopped on it. Pure 50 Cent levels of petty. People online believe Tammy turned on Meech for one of two reasons. Either he tried to snatch back the rights to his life story after she put everything on the line for him, or she simply felt betrayed after years of loyalty. Either way, if Meech really did share sensitive info with Tammy while locked up, then he gambled with the one person who knew everything about him. And let's be real, Tammy wasn't just holding his paperwork. She was the reason his affairs were even intact when he came home. But Meech wasn't just gonna sit back while the internet dragged his name through the mud. He fired back, denying all the snitching rumors. His side of the story? He only got out early because of changes in the law, not because he cut any deals with the feds.
I wasn't gonna address this because I'm not trying to let nobody trick me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before dishonor, always with me. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family to come out to the Amaran Arena, February 13th.
But that explanation didn't convince everyone. Why? Because in 2021, a judge only shaved 3 years off his 30-year sentence, citing good behavior and the First Step Act. And let's be real, 3 years is not the same as 12 years disappearing from your bid. And Meech didn't stop at just words. He hopped online with a video response, directly addressing the snitch allegations. But instead of clearing his name, it left fans split even more. Some said they believed him, others weren't buying a word of it. And when it came to playing 50's game of pettiness, Meech tried, but let's be honest, he fell flat. He posted a photo of him and 50, slapped a cartoon rat holding cheese over 50's face, and wrote "Internet Gangster" on it. But compared to 50's relentless trolling, it looked weak. Unc might still be trying to figure out the internet game, but that move blew up in his face big time. Instead of shutting down the rumors, it only poured gasoline on them. Fans weren't here for cryptic shade. They wanted Meech to face the accusations directly, not dodge with subliminals. And just when the situation couldn't get more chaotic, 50 got pushed even further when Rick Ross, his biggest rival, popped up in a video with Meech, co-signing his concert set for February 13th. At that moment, the beef wasn't just about Meech anymore. It turned into an all-out war. Picture this. You've got a friend who's been holding you down for years, making money moves for your son while you were locked up, even turning your life into a TV show to keep your name alive. Then you come home after breaking the street code, and instead of making things right, you run straight into the arms of that friend's worst enemy. Not only that, you let his rival be the one to promote your big comeback concert. The disrespect in that move was next level. Rick Ross wasted no time playing the role of real one, backing Meech and clowning 50, but everyone knows Ross had his own agenda. Meanwhile, 50 was watching like, "Oh, so this is how you repay me?" And the petty king wasn't about to let it slide. He went straight for the jugular, threatening to cancel the BMF series, where Lil Meech plays his father. That's when fans knew this beef hit dangerous territory. 50 even unfollowed Lil Meech on Instagram and then threw salt in the wound, posting to his story, "Lil Meech gonna be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Mona got a call for him later today." Ouch! That move forced Lil Meech into an impossible corner. He had to pick a side fast, his career and financial security with 50, or his father who had just walked out of prison with nothing. Things got uglier when 50 himself leaked a private DM from Lil Meech practically begging him not to kill the BMF show. In the message, Lil Meech sounded desperate. "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you managed to sign Baby with Rocket when I was the one who introduced you. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act like I'm your enemy. I've only shown you love and loyalty. The stuff I go through with my own pops, but I never switched up on you. F. Ross. Yeah, he gave my dad some bread to pay bills till our next season starts, but this internet mess is throwing me off. You know me in real life." In that leaked DM, Lil Meech made it clear he wasn't siding with Ross at all. He even doubled down saying F. Ross again while explaining his father only took money for bills until the show came back. But instead of softening 50, it had the opposite effect. 50 fired back with a cold response that shook fans. "What next season?" That reply hit like a dagger straight to Lil Meech's chest. It wasn't just trolling. It was a public reminder that 50 held all the power. And the saddest part? Lil Meech, who wasn't even the one accused of snitching, was the one taking the hardest hits. His career, his reputation, even his relationship with his dad. Everything was hanging in the balance, all because of this messy war between two giants. A lot of people questioned why 50 went so far with the pettiness, but the truth might be deeper. Many believe Lil Meech trashing his own father in those leaked DMs didn't impress 50. It actually turned him off even more. Instead of proving loyalty, it might have made 50 think, "If you'll flip on your own pops this easily, how do I know you won't flip on me next?" And let's not forget, 50's own son, Marquise, once flipped on him too. That history cut deep. And now with this feud spiraling out of control, the one caught in the crossfire is Lil Meech, trapped between a father fighting snitch rumors and a mentor ready to cut him loose at any second. Their relationship completely crumbled after Marquise was spotted hanging with 50's old enemy, Supreme McGriff's son, back in 2018. That betrayal cut 50 deep, and now with Lil Meech siding against his father, it feels like deja vu. To 50, history is repeating itself all over again. And in the latest clip circulating online, fans couldn't help but notice how broken and defeated Lil Meech looked. Not only did his private DMs with 50 leak for the whole world to see, but they didn't even move the needle. 50 still looked ready to kill the BMF series without hesitation. Meanwhile, Boosie has been piling on the pressure, clowning Lil Meech on social media for trying too hard to win 50's approval. In Boosie's own words, he said Lil Meech was sucking up to 50. That jab hit hard, and of course, 50 fired right back. 50 snapped at Boosie saying, "I did more for Lil Meech than anyone in his life, Boosie." That's why he responded like that. If he gets locked up, I'm the first one he calls to bail him out every single time. When I saw him laughing at his pop's post, I said, "Oh, he's a snake too. He belongs with him." That shot didn't just sting Boosie, it painted Lil Meech as someone caught between loyalty and survival. Now with Boosie openly declaring whose side he's on, he just put himself on 50's enemies list right alongside Rick Ross. And while Boosie might want that smoke, let's be honest, nobody is touching Ross's top spot as 50's #1 rival. Still, the whole drama has fans split down the middle. Some are siding with 50, saying he's right to be petty and crush anyone rocking with his ops. Others are calling him out for dragging a 24-year-old kid into a war that started long before he was even grown. And that's where it gets messy, because now people are flat out accusing 50 of being a bully. Not only intimidating Lil Meech, but coming down heavy on Boosie too. The question is, where's the line? So what do you think? Is 50 Cent going too far in this war with Big Meech? And is it fair that Lil Meech is taking the hits for his father's fallout? Or is 50 just playing the game the way he always has? No mercy, no exceptions? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this insane saga.